And welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing the DRC hardware Fender Eliminator kit for the KLX230. We'll need to remove some of the accessories off the bike, starting with the Rotopax 1 gallon spare fuel tank and the Wolfman E12 saddlebags that I've been using to moto camp and pretty much keep on the bike all the time. We'll remove the OEM rack that I picked up at the dealership. If you have questions about that, I did a review and an install video here on the channel. You can just check the playlist for the KLX230. Next, we'll need to remove both side panels to get access to the seat bolts. Next, I removed the two bolts that hold the seat on and then slid the seat towards the rear of the bike, and it comes off easy. Once the seat's removed, it'll expose the 4 bolts you have to remove to take the fender off. And once the fender's removed, you'll be able to get access to the 4 bolts that hold on the tail light assembly. Here you can see the new taillight assembly is near identical to the stock OEM one. All the cables are stuck together with 3 cable ties that you'll need to either remove or loosen to get access to unplug the taillight assembly. There are 4 connectors you'll need to disconnect, 2 for the main taillight assembly and 1 for each turn signal. And from that point, you should be able to slide the entire taillight assembly out. In order to remove the turn signals, you'll need to remove the brake light itself by removing the 2 black screws. There's 1 screw holding each turn signal in, and once you remove the screw, you can just pull the turn signal and the connector actually fits through the hole and it should just slide right out. Now, in order to get the rubber brackets that hold the turn signals to the new frame, you pretty much have to take the entire taillight assembly apart. I believe there's 6 screws, and that's in order to get to the backing plates behind the rubber mounts. So there are two plates, the outer plate that's removed from the screw, and then the secondary plate slides inside the actual mounting grommet, which you can essentially just push right out the hole and it comes out. Mounting them in the new brackets is basically the opposite of taking them out. You want to press the rubber grommet into the frame, install the inner plate, and then screw in the outer plate, which creates a press and holds the bracket in. This is what the backside of the mounting grommet looks like with the inside plate. Then you just mount the outside plate with the screw, and do that to both sides. Now that the mounting brackets are installed, you can just cram the connectors through, slide the cable through, seat the turn signal, and use the stock screws to mount them to the bracket. Now that everything is assembled, we can mount it back onto the bike. Make sure the wires are fed up through the hole, and you're going to use the stock bolts along with the other hardware that's included in the kit. You'll want to connect the turn signal connectors. There's one gray and one black, and then the main tail light connector. Be sure to reinstall the cable ties to keep everything nice and tidy under the fender. And before I reinstall the plastics, the seat, and the rack, I'll want to make sure that everything works properly. Next, we'll need to remove the two bolts from the bottom of the fender. We're actually removing that small bracket, and we're just reusing the two bolts. We'll bolt the fender directly to the frame of the new Fender Elimination kit. Difficult part of this whole process is getting these two bolts back up underneath the fender. And at this point, we can go ahead and start reinstalling the OEM rack. Next, we'll go ahead and reinstall the seat by sliding it forward and then using the two bolts towards the back end. And lastly, replacing the plastics on both sides. And it's done. If you like this content, feel free to subscribe. Throw me a thumbs up if you like it. Feel free to add any questions to the comments section below. And thanks for watching.